What's going on? I'm Larry Hoover Jr. and I'm rocking with Street Certified News.
Oh, it is your boy Kiss, man. Shout out to Street Certified News.
Yo, it's your boy L Hitter, Mr. Oh yeah, y'all already know what it is, man. I'm rocking with Street Certified News. We got behind the scenes, man. We finna tie this bitch up.
What up, it's your boy Bum J. We rocking with Street Certified News. Eastside Crazy.
In the late 1960s and early 70s, a gang on the west side of Chicago would emerge, known as the Black Souls. Originally organizing around the corner of Adams and Pulaski in the West Garfield Park neighborhood, the Souls would initially break away from their loose affiliation with the Vice Lords to form their own group after the death of King Pee Wee. Some say this caused Vice Lord leader Willie Lloyd to declare 40 days of war against the Souls and their new leader, William Weaver. After Weaver would go to prison in 1969, Ronald Davis ran the Souls until 1975, when he would be kidnapped and found dead days after his ransom was paid. Soon after their creation, the Souls would merge with the Soul Brothers, briefly going by the combined name, Mad Black Soul Brothers. In the 1970s, the Souls expanded into the southern part of West Humboldt Park, sparking a bit of rivalry with the Supreme Gangsters. In the 1970s, a new group would rise to prominence, including future King, Wayne Jack Bobo Edwards. Edwards, originally a Supreme Gangster, had absorbed a belief in organized money-making and carried that ideology into the Souls' leadership. In 1976, Edwards introduced Gangsta Black Soul concepts, blending the traditions of the Supreme Gangsters, BGDs, with the emerging Black Soul structure, allowing Edwards to set up profitable drug business arrangements, especially in heroin, which would soon become the Soul's main lifeline. By the 1980s, under Jack Bobo's direction, the Black Souls had become deeply involved in the heroin trade. By now, they had expanded operations in East Garfield Park and North Lawndale, particularly around Walnut and Holman Street, which became a major street-level hub.
Tomorrow at 10, we'll report on the man known as Jack Bobo on the street. Officials charge he made a bundle selling heroin smuggled into Chicago through a Nigerian connection to Thailand. A case in point is this man, Remy Baker, according to federal officials and Chicago police, is high on the ladder of international Nigerian drug runners. And Baker is accused of having a direct link to Jack Bobo and the Black Souls of Chicago. Baker and 3 other Nigerians are indicted for the delivery of heroin here. Jack Bobo and others are accused of operating an open-air market selling that China white heroin at Walnut and Holman on Chicago's West Side.
Edwards, around this time, partnered with Sam McKay, a rising leader in the Souls and young businessman who played a major role in running the Walnut Holman location. In 1987, an agreement between the Four Corner Hustlers and the Black Souls, brokered by Monroe Money Banks, with Edwards and McKay, helped stabilize operations on the West Side until McKay was imprisoned in 1992. Afterwards, Edwards directly took over all Gangsta Black Soul functions, consolidating power even more tightly under his leadership. At the same time, surveillance and law enforcement attention increased, as the Souls' highly organized distribution network, with packagers, distributors, lookouts, and street sellers, making them one of the most profitable, dangerous, and investigated groups on the West Side. In the early 1990s, the Black Souls under Jack Bobo became a prime target for law enforcement. In March 1993, Chicago police would secure wiretap orders on the Kildare residents tied to the Jack Bobo Edwards network, and in 1994, a grand jury indictment accused him and others of multiple heroin trafficking offenses.
Money is something Wayne Edwards seems to know something about. On the West Side, they call him Jack Bobo, and they see evidence of his success Diamond bracelets, diamond rings, Dom Perignon, and long limousines. Jack Bobo, according to his indictment last month, is one of the leaders of the Black Souls street gang. The Black Souls and Jack Bobo, according to the indictment, sold $50,000 worth of heroin on Chicago streets every day. Does the name Jack Bobo mean anything to you?
Yep,
What does it mean?
he was a big time
How do you know?
because he had us. I used to cop from him.
Cop from him, you bought from
Right.
him. We'll call her Jane. She's 26, the mother of small children, and an addict. Her addiction, she says, is to China white heroin.
There's a lot of heroin coming here, and like I said, when they bring it here and it's pure, it's cut and then put on the streets. The amounts are just staggering.
At trial, Chicago police officer Sal Colello testified in his surveillance at Walnut and Holman. He saw addicts lining up in the street to buy tinfoil packets of heroin, while Souls members acted as lookouts and security to keep the sales running smoothly. This testimony painted the picture of a highly structured street market empire. Edwards was accused of overseeing procurement from suppliers, cutting and packaging the heroin, and managing wholesale as well as street-level sales. By the mid-1990s, Edwards' legal troubles intensified, and convictions against him and other leaders dealt a heavy blow to the organization. With Sam McKay already in prison and Edwards facing the weight of federal prosecution, the Black Souls' central power would fracture. Eventually, Jack Bobo and his co-defendants would face 30 years and 25 years respectively in the state. Now in 2025, many of Jack Bobo's friends have quietly been released from state prison and live a very much under the radar existence. For Edwards himself, records do not make clear his status. Although his 30-year sentence would technically end in 2028, by our math, Edwards should have been released on parole around early 2014. Although the era of Wayne Edwards' Black Souls dominance has ended, many would say he left behind a legacy of profits, drugs, and violence on Chicago's Westside. No matter what people think though, from the street corners to limousines, they all wanted to buy their dope from Jack Bobo, gangster from Chicago. It's your boy Emerick El Guapo, man. Street Certified News, the most reputable source for urban media, man. Make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe. We out.